He tries. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God, for everything. Thank everything. Response. Thank you.
Morning, Unity.
Good morning, Ahriana.
Today. Yeah,
Hey,
good.
hey, I'm smoking. Okay, I'll take it off now.
It's a nice hat.
It's a good hat, isn't
It's a
it?
good hat. It's a good hat. How did we get to Sunday so fast? Weren't we just here? Seems like this week flew by, and now we're almost in September. Whew. It's been a whirlwind of a summer. And I know a lot of us are on Zoom this morning as you're traveling around getting your last summer in. But I see you. Good morning. It's nice to see you. We see you. If you feel like popping your face on the screen, you can. We'd love to just connect with you that way. It's important for us to remember, isn't it, that we are connecting with real people behind those names. Those are real people, people who are here during other times of the year and people who are taking the time to be here no matter where they are. And it still is just for me phenomenal that we can even do this, right? Isn't this George Jetson?
It's like a miracle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. You guys are old enough, right, to remember George Jetson, right? All right, that's right. See?
I was raised in that generation.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yeah. And periodically, I just have to pause for a minute and remember how amazing it is that the things that we were watching as kids that we were told were make believe are now real. That this is what's real in our life right now. So I'm so grateful that you're here and so grateful you can join us. And Todd, I did see you out there hiking. We're all jealous. I just want you to know we're all jealous. We saw you out there hiking. So this is the last day of our Sacred Rebel series. And before I tell you about that, let me tell you that going into the fall, we're going to do a fall series on sacred listening, which is to say we will be working on honing our intuitive skill. What are the tools that we need to truly hear what is divine inside of us, what is coming through us? Because one of the unique things about unity is that we don't reach to that God out there. We reach to the holy that comes through our own hearts, that expresses as us. And we truly put our focus on how we live as that holy presence, more than just what has been said or what we've been taught. How do we walk on the planet in a holy way? How do we embody the divine and live as rather than living like? Really big difference, right? Living as rather than living like. So, in order to do that, we have to hone the skills that allow us to know the difference between our ego voice and the divine when it speaks through us and to us. And we're going to spend some time working on all the tools that we have, all the ways that we have to do that so that we can embody better, so that we can express in a more powerful way. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've got some fun things going on. I just talked to Joe this morning about doing a workshop in November. We've got some fun things that will lead up to that, including a full day of opening ceremony, which will happen on the 30th. I'm sorry, on the 29th. On Monday, the 29th, we'll have a full day of ceremony here to step into that deeply intuitive space in a powerful way. So keep that in mind. You'll hear more about it as we go along. This is our last day of our Sacred Rebel series. Have you enjoyed it? Yeah, fun to really and moving to hear who the Sacred Rebels have been. And this last one is my personal favorite Sacred Rebel. And I'll tell you why when we get there. But for now, I want you to think about the size of a hazelnut, which is about the size of your thumb, right? And so this Sacred Rebel believed that the entire wisdom of the world would fit in the size of a hazelnut. And she taught a lot about that, about how we misunderstand size for power and strength for power and courage for power. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But for now, I want you to close your eyes and to imagine that your life, all of the wisdom of the universe, can be held in the palm of your hand. In fact, right in the heart of the palm of your hand, as though you were holding a hazelnut. Just that little size. That all of the wisdom that exists fits right there in the palm of your hand. That it's that accessible to you if you look for it. That it's always right there, available to you. And I want you to put your hands together and to feel the hearts of your palms as they meet. to really notice there's a circuit that comes together in our body when we put our palms together. And you can pull your hands slightly apart, just a little and back together. And if you do that 3 or 4 times, you'll start to feel the heat as your body connects, which is a really kind of cool thing. Sometimes you even feel a little kind of buzz there between your hands. I just want you to notice that, to notice that there is an energy always available to you that you don't necessarily pay attention to, but you carry it. It is who you are, just as you carry within you all the wisdom of the universe. And you may not recognize it because access is the key. How we access it, what it takes to access it, and yet it isn't something we have to call to us. It's here with us right now, all the time, because we are never separate from the holy. So I invite you, as you close your eyes, as you rest into this moment, to just take a minute to be aware of who you really are, to be aware that you are the most perfect divine creation, that you carry within you your own unique interpretation of the divine, your own unique expression of the divine, and that who you are as the divine living, no one else can repeat for you. Only you can be this. Only you. So if for 1 minute this morning you thought you were anything less than remarkably important in the world, I invite you to recognize your holiness. I greet you as your holiness. I invite you to take this moment and settle in silence to the holy you are. As we begin our time together, consider that you are human and you are divine. And so it is.
Call and response. The last line, the second time through, we'll sing together with no response. If that makes sense. Alleluia. 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 So when Ahriana let me know the idea for today's service was going to be, it's very esoteric, very, very beautiful. And didn't know what to do for music. This is a song I've played hundreds of times, but I want you to think about this song, sharing this moment with holiness, the divine, God, whatever you consider to be. Light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase that you bought today. You know what? You're welcome to join me. Staring at the fire for hours and hours while I listen to you play your love songs all night long. For only for me. You and rest your head for just 5 minutes. Everything is calm. Such a cozy room. The windows are illuminated by the evening sunshine through them. Fiery gems for you, before you. The eye is a very, very, very fine house with two cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. And the la 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 is a very, very, very fine house with two cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. And the fire while you place the flowers that you bought today.
So I had this really powerful opening line, and now all I can do is laugh. Because in the middle of all of this, as Joe is singing, remember that Mark is 6 years younger than me. So sometimes we're right on the edge of the music we know. Me leaning back into the 60s and him leaning, heavier into the 90s. So sometimes we're a few minutes, sometimes 80s, 90s. Sometimes we're a few minutes off from one another. And he says, Joe is singing and he says, two cats in the oven? That's not good. So, that perfect hearing, babe. So let me share, as soon as I stop laughing, a beautiful quote, my favorite quote of all time. That's for those of you who've been around me for a while, you know that I love quotes. For me to say this is my favorite quote of all time is a very big deal. The quote is this: all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. For there is a force moving in the universe that holds us, loves us, and will never let us go. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, for there is a force of love moving in the universe that holds us and will never let us go. Doesn't get any better than that. What else could you? That's the sermon.
That's it.
That's it,
That's it.
right?
That's it.
That's the thing you need to know in the most difficult moments of your life. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, because there is a force of love in the universe that is holding us and will never let us go. I cannot, if I had a nickel, right, for every time in my head, I came back to that quote. It is the most powerful, useful quote in my life. It is the statement of faith, right? It's where your faith lies. The universe has your back. Why? Because the universe is a force of love. And because love has you, you're going to be okay. No matter what it is, no matter what it is. The force of love has you and is never going to let you go. And if we truly know that, then we know that the holy is the force of love. That exists for us in our most challenging moments. So this statement was made by a woman named Julian of Norwich. Julian of Norwich lived in the 14th and 15th century, was born at the end of the 14th, obviously, lived into the early 15th century. She lived to be about 70 years old. During the youngest years of her life, it was the time of the Black Plague. She was raised in Norwich, England. It was the time of the Black Plague. It was a time of religious upheaval. It was a wartime. All of that happened during her time. And when she was about 30 years old, she got very sick. And she was so sick that she was given the last rites. Was believed that she would not recover. She did recover. And when she came out, she had 16 different visions that were part of her sickness that came to her during the time that she was sick. And so she became an anchoress. And this is what an anchoress is. Does anybody know what an anchoress is? Okay, in England, you could anchor, you had choices. If you were a woman, you could get married, you could go to the convent, you could live as a spinster, not a good choice, or you could become an anchoress. There were very few who became an anchoress, but an anchoress basically was built into the church. You devoted yourself the rest of your life to praying, contemplation, and being connected to a particular church, and they built the walls around you. So you had one window for light and ventilation, one window that opened into the church so that you could hear the service and pray for the people while they were in service, and one window that opened to the street where food was passed into you and you could pass out waste and stuff like that because you didn't have all the comforts of plumbing that we have. And you would go to that window to offer prayer for the community. So Julian of Norwich was an anchoress who lived attached to St. Julian's. We don't know what her name was. She took on the name of the church, and she was simply known as Julian of Norwich, of St. Julian's. And she became an amazing connection for the community. At that time, Norwich was the second largest city in England. There were a lot of people there for cities at that time, and people came from all over to pray with her. And the reason is that what she said was very different than what they were learning in church. So first of all, She prayed to God the Mother at a time that was considered heresy. But she prayed to God the Mother in such a sincere way because it had been her deep experience when she was sick that nobody ever filed charges. No one ever challenged her because it was clear that when she prayed, what she was saying was what was the truth for her. She had experienced the divine as mother. She spoke to people about God as unconditional love. Sound familiar? Our Unity folks will know this God that we talk about, this God that we interpret as unconditional love. When we say God is always good, unconditional love is always good. It's always good. There's never a time that love is bad. She experienced in her meditations and in her visions during a time when the rest of the world was listening to a church that was largely preaching about a wrathful God. She was talking about a loving, open, welcoming God. She was saying you have to make mistakes. She used the word sin, we don't. But she used the word sin and said, you have to have that. To understand the mercy of God, you have to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, there's no way you can understand what unconditional love is. It is, she called it behovely. Sin is behovely, which was a big fancy word at that time that meant it was strangely necessary. It's necessary, which is an interesting thing for us to think about because what it says is we were never designed to be perfect. Because if we were perfect and we never made a mistake, how would we ever receive grace? How would we ever receive mercy? How would we ever understand compassion? How would we ever learn to love ourselves the way we are so profoundly loved in the universe? Because we are loved. We are loved despite who we are, what we've done, how we've done it, why we've done it. We are loved. And we can count on that 100%. She did not believe there was a wrathful God. I do not believe there is a wrathful God. Everything I have ever experienced of the holy has been such profound love. So you can see why I appreciate her so much. So let's go back to this quote. By the way, she lived to be 70 years old at a time of Black Plague when people were dying at 30 and 35. She became a very, by their standards, very old, wise woman who prayed with people every day, who prayed for people every day, who devoted her entire presence to connection with the holy. And she wrote a book called Revelation of Divine Love. And she wrote it in English at a time when all the books that were written, first of all, were written by men, and they were written in Latin. She wrote in Middle English. No one really knows how it is that she learned to write or why she could, but she is known as the first woman to write a book in English. And it was the divine revelations of her visions when she was sick and what she learned from them. So let's go back to the quote. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. No matter what. Because we are eternal beings. And this lifetime is a blip. In the wholeness of who we are, it's a blip. We all know that. Now, you all know that I am a really big, firm believer that we don't live for what comes after, that we take full advantage of this lifetime and we live fully and we put our focus here. And all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of thing will be well, because that is what is true. Because it is impossible for anything not to be well. We will move from here into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Because that's who we are. All shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Thing, not plural. I'm not saying it wrong. All in Middle English, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, because there is a force of love moving in the universe. A force of love. Not a questionable force, not a possible force, not a maybe. But there is a force of love. How would your life be different today if you believed 100% that there is a force of love moving in the universe that is holding you and will never let you go? How would that change things for you? How would that help you if you had to say, somehow in the midst of this, I can't pay this bill, or I fought with this guy, or somebody cut me off on the freeway? Somehow in the midst of all of this, the force of universe is holding me. The force of love has me. The force of love has me. I find it almost easier to believe the force of love has me than I do to believe the force of love has my kids. Right? Yeah, right? Who else does the force of love have in your life? Who you're worried about? The answer is everyone. Everyone. Everyone we're busy worrying about is held by the same holy source that we are held by, with just as much love, just as much deep connection. And they are on their path. Now, is that an excuse for not giving to people who are hungry or caring for those who are without? No. We know, we've been taught, it is ours to do to care when we see someone in need. It's ours to do. If it shows up in front of me, it must be mine to do. It didn't show up in front of you, it showed up in front of me. We help each other because it's one of the ways that we express the holy, that we live as the holy, that we move the force of love into the world around us. We do it with our smiles, we do it with our charity, we do it with our compassion and our grace and our kindness. And we do it even when we find ourselves not living up to the person we want to be. When we pause for a moment and say, okay, breathe again, start over. There's a force of love moving through the universe. So what has this got to do with being a sacred rebel? Because if there is something in common that all of our sacred rebels have, and we have covered 12 of them over the summer, if there is something in common that they all have, it's that they were moved by a force of love. A force of love that moved through them as them and allowed them to stand for whatever it was they needed to stand for. In Julian's case, she stood for unconditional love as expressed in the feminine God, as opposed to a masculine, what was then presented as a wrathful God. She lived through war, through lack of food, through religious persecution, through plague that took 40% of the population when she was a child. And she still believed there is a force of love in the universe that has us and never lets us go. It's a powerful, powerful, powerful message. It's where I want to leave you in this series. I want to leave you remembering that all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, despite what you might think. Because there is a force of love moving in the universe that holds you and will never let you go.
Dang. So I'd hoped to get these lyrics up there for you guys, but I ran out of time. So I want you to remember rock stars, avatars, dreamers, shooting stars. Okay? Rock stars, avatars, dreamers, shooting stars. You got it? The last one you're just going to have to wing it on. I played this song. I wrote this song like 15 years ago. I played it one time. It was here. And I never really finished it, but I thought it was good for the service. Who are we rock stars? Who are we avatars? Who are we dreamers, seekers, and shooting stars? Who are we? Try it. Seekers and shooting stars. Who are we Buddhas? Who are we good? All things are well in the land of the living. All things are fine for the strong and the weak. And I know that I am not just this moment. Come sing this song with me, rock stars. Rock stars. We avatars. We dreamers. Dreamers and shooting stars. We dreamers. So, so lovely to carry this weight. Thank you for every part of your being. On top of that, you're looking great. Seekers and shooting stars. But who are we willing to be last time? And shooting stars. What we Buddhas, but who are we willing to? Who are we?
Yeah. Who are you willing to be? What a good question to take home with you today. Who are you willing to be? What if you are the force of love moving through the universe, holding each other and never letting each other go? Powerful. Powerful. Because that's really where we are, isn't it? We believe that God is good, and that because God is good and we are the perfect manifestation of the holy, that we indeed are also good. Yeah. I'll be thinking about that. Who am I willing to be? I have to think about that. What we are definitely willing to be is generous. We are remarkably generous out in the world. And Debbie, I'm going to call you with absolutely no warning and ask you to come up for just a minute and tell us what we did in the last week or so that the community should know we did. Yeah.
So the launch pad is just down the road. It's the housing opportunity for newly housed young adults, 18 to about 25. They're about at half capacity, and you all contributed to gift bags that were given out to the those that are there will be given as others come. And Lily is the head case manager, said they were well received and will be in touch. There might be a food truck event down there where we can go and meet people. Or if that doesn't happen and we want to do it, we might have a Christmas tea up here. And so anyway, Lily's the voice of them saying that our help is really appreciated.
Debbie, these kids were previously homeless, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And can you tell, just for people who just happen to be new here, what we put in those bags?
So in those bags were things that we brainstormed might be useful to them. So little travel size shampoo and lotion and soap and lip, not lip gloss, but whatever you call it. And also an invitation to come to meditation or our service or potluck so that they knew that they were welcome in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Mm.
So why is that important for you to know? One, to say thank you for your generosity, because those little things, there was a lot of pushback in the neighborhood about that apartment complex being built. And we wanted to make sure that they got the message that they were welcome. They are very well supported in that organization with all kinds of help in finding jobs and moving through some of the trauma that they've had. There's a lot of help for them. It's not just an apartment complex. It is a powerful effort to help these young people move. And we wanted to move into a different place in life. And we wanted to make sure they knew that someone in the neighborhood said welcome. It's also important for you to know, because it could be that young people from there come up anytime, that they might stop in at a potluck, they might stop in for a Sunday lunch after service, or they might show up in service, or they might just come to eat, right? So if you see young people around the community, around our facility, we have invited them. Please be kind and welcoming without being helicopter parents, okay? Because it's hard to get the courage to walk in the door, and you want to be welcome, but you don't want to be the star attraction, right? So please keep that in mind. Also, we tend to be a little like, who are you? Why are you here at our place? You don't look as old as us, right? So I want you to know that we have opened the doors, that we hope that if they need us, they'll come, and also that we're going to continue to support Launchpad as opportunities provide, whether they come or not. Because feeling the love of the universe moving to you when you haven't had a lot of it in the world softens your heart in a really powerful way. Gives you an opportunity to believe that there is something in the universe caring for you, that what you needed showed up. A little bit later in the year, I'm hoping that we can do a circulation day. We haven't done one in years and years, but a circulation day is a day that we bring silverware and plates and pots and things that we put in boxes in the refrigerator. In the refrigerator. Sometimes what falls out of my mouth is not planned, that we put in the garage. I don't know what that had to do with the refrigerator. Don't laugh, it happens to you. I know it does. Yeah. So those things that you would normally hand off to the Ark or to Goodwill, hold on to them for just a little while, because maybe October, it would be nice to do a circulation day. And when we do that day, we put the tables out and we inform the Launchpad, Westside Cares, organizations like that. And people come and we serve them coffee and tea and cookies and say, please take 5 items. Take them home with you, whatever they are that you need. So pay attention to what you might have that might be helpful for people who are just beginning to make home. And we will pass on, move into circulation, some of those wonderful things that need a home. Speaking of circulation, we circulate lots of things. And one of the things that we circulate is our financial well-being. It's interesting because sometimes people are afraid to talk about money. I'm not, because money to me is just one more form of energy that moves through us, like everything else. And so it's really easy for me to say to you, if you are having a rough day today, if you're here for the first time, don't feel obligated at all. If you're having a rough day today and giving is hard because something came up, you blew a tire, something is wrong at the house, you have to replace a water heater, whatever. Don't give in obligation ever here. This is not a place for obligation. This is a place for gratitude. We give from gratitude for the multiple ways that our life is blessed. So if you are in a position to give from gratitude, then I want to give you the opportunity to do that and invite you to be thankful for the way your life is blessed. We should all be thankful, right? No matter how we're giving. We all got here today. You're all dressed. You probably all had coffee or food, good, clean water at least. We have a lot to be thankful for in comparison to many places in the world. So let us hold in our hands what we give, whether we give of our time, our talent, our energy, or our prayer and presence here. Whatever it is you're giving, let's hold the energy of that, just like we did that little acorn in our hands. And let's repeat our affirmation of abundance. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
I don't know if Mark got those lyrics up there, not for you. This is it's an old hymn that Peter Mayer adapted the lyrics to. If you know the hymn, just join us. Though. Thank you, Mark. Perfect. I have, yeah, Mike. If you wouldn't mind. I mean, I held it in my hand and everything, Mike. Let's not waste that thing. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry heart can say, I'm sailing on my life now. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue. Sun my sail and moor my rudder as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we can reveal from souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, feel the great winds urging me on. Breathe the infinite sea before me, sing the sky, my sailor song. I've been born upon the fathoms, never harbor or find. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue. was better than I envisioned. My boo-boo.
Joe, you have to let us applaud for you. You have to.
For Tammy, too, please.
Thank you both for ushering for us today. We receive these gifts with great gratitude, knowing they are given from loving and grateful hearts. We move this through us and out from us in ways that bless the world, and so it is.
So it is.
Dana, I see you got a little one up there. You want to come and tell us about our youth program for today?
This is Emmanuel. And hi, I'm Lauren.
Hi.
Hi. And we learned lots of things today. We talked about wellness, and he got a shoe. He got a shoe. And we talked about scissors. Did we talk about scissors? And he has some messages that he picked out some stickers for us today. And he got to have, we made with his scissors and his stickers, we made his wellness jar. And this is a wellness jar that he picked out a little lion to go inside. It has a lucky penny inside. And then whenever Emmanuel feels like he's happy about something, he can put it in this jar. Okay? And his stickers today, he picked out by himself and put them on, is mental health is important, time to relax, adventure is out there. And a one on his other shoe says, don't forget to smile. So that's a message. And we'd like to sing just a little song for you that kind of goes along with the whole world is taken care of.
So let's do he, she, and we. How's that? He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 She's got the whole world in his hands. She's got the whole wide world in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hand. We got the whole world in our hands. We got the whole wide world in our hands. We got the whole world in our hands. We got the whole world in our hands.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Welcome, Lauren. It's nice to have you guys. I know that your sweetheart is back there also. I just want to acknowledge sometimes we miss the other half. Don't want to do that. Would you like to? Yeah, thank you. All right. I am loving this children's program that we have started. I am loving seeing our children. I am loving that they change every week. I'm loving that we get to let them know that they're welcome. And I'm loving that we're thinking about little people. It's a good thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for making space here for children to feel home here. We had a week ago, it was just last week, Afra was speaking and her kids were here, and her kids are this big now, but when I came, they were not. They were teeny. They're one is a little bit older and the other is a little bit younger, I think, than my own children. And so they went through at the same time our kids went through Unity classes here. And when I talked to them, Callista said, "Oh yeah, it's really cool here. I know where everything is. I was showing people where the bathroom is, where to get coffee, where to it's a cool thing when they get to know what's going on." So we're going to turn this over and have a couple of announcements and a little report on the women's retreat. Before we do that, I want to remind you, last week we had our first meeting on our building issues, our building love, our building concerns. And we got to have reports about from our building care team and also from our finance team. So we just got the facts, ma'am. Last week we just got the facts. Next Sunday after service, we're going to hang out to talk about our hearts, to talk about what our feelings are right now, about what we learned and about where we go and about what matters to us and all of that. I know that sometimes it's like, I need to come and get the facts, but please don't ask me to come and say what I really feel. And I want to encourage you to bring your hearts to this space next week with as much enthusiasm as you came to the last gathering, because this town hall is a chance for you to speak, to put words into what is important to you. And the board will be here to hear that and really cares about what is important to your heart as well as your mind. So I invite you to make plans. We'll get done with service about 11, have some fellowship, and come back in here at 12 and meet again as we move through this process, hopefully in the most loving, caring, gentle way we can while we make some tough decisions. So please do come. Charlotte, I'm going to turn it over to you, and River and Rose, I know you have a little bit to share with us. Thank you so much. The women's retreat was amazing, I heard. Glad you're here.
Hello? Oh, got it. All right. Well, I'm Charlotte. I'm your platform assistant today, as if you didn't know who I was. The first thing I would like for us to do is to recite together our minister affirmation, if we can have that up on the board, Mark. All right. Would you join me? In deep gratitude for our past, we embrace change with faith and an enthusiasm. We will warmly welcome our new minister to Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies with open hearts and joyful spirits. And so it is. The platform flowers today, these beautiful flowers, were brought by Mike in memory of his parents, Angela and Frank. And we can be thankful for his parents because we have wonderful Mike here to support us in so many things. So thank you, Mike. Miss River, would you like to come up? River and Rose have a brief announcement to make about the women's retreat, which was so wonderful. And then I believe they have a poem for us. You ladies are amazing. Thank you.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay. High in the mountains, amongst the pines, 26 women gathered to be of the divine. Women's circle retreat full of wild joy and play, sacred activities each and every day, yoga and meditation, forest bathing and drums, art and oracles and belly dancing fun, looking through a telescope of a galaxy far away. Walking the labyrinth was delightful one day. Deepening our connections with sacred words and prayer, we took away that sweet vibe and brought it right back here.
Well, that sums it up just magnificently. It was a pleasure to work with Lorelei and River on this sacred women's journey retreat. And bags were created that said sacred rest, wild joy, and divine radiance. That's what the experience was during the retreat. People loved it so much they asked for one additional day, and that we continue this tradition in August to do it again. We'll be doing that, so you can expect more forthcoming, but we just wanted to share what a rich and wonderful experience it was on 70 acres when women came into this 9,000 square foot mansion to register and to put their belongings there. Their mouths dropped and their hearts opened with delight at the whole facility. And it continued that way for the next 3 days. Thank you. Thank you, wonderful ladies, for all that you did with that. It was such a gift, and I know the gift will keep on giving. Okay, just a few announcements, and then we'll all go to the fellowship hall and have lunch. Is there anyone here for the very first time today? Okay. Anyone here for the second or third time? We have one person over here. Welcome. We're glad you're here. The care ministry team meets today at 12 p.m. in the sanctuary to discuss updates on congregants in need of support and much more. See Rose for team information. She'll be right here at noon for all of you who would like to join. Chair yoga is canceled for Monday, September 1st. It's a holiday. Yoga will resume on Monday, September 8th outside on the North Lawn. The metaphysical group meets Thursday, September 4th at 6 p.m. at Unity. This group discusses rituals and ceremonies and how they affect people and groups. Steve Smith is the point for that person. He's not here today, but you can call the church and ask a question if you need to. Sacred Women's Circle, Full Moon Drum Circle meets Saturday, September 6th. At 2:30 p.m. in the sanctuary. Bring your drums and rattles or join us on the heart drum. See Lorelei or River for drum circle information. I want to remind you, check the Unity newsletter, bulletin boards, online calendar, and Facebook page for updates. There's a lot going on. There's a lot coming up, and you don't want to miss out on anything. If you would like to be added to the Unity newsletter mailing list, or if you would like a Unity name tag, please stop by the Unity office or email unity@unityrockies.org. And before I introduce our prayer chaplain, I just want to say real quickly, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Tammy, for the wonderful music today. And especially Ahriana, thank you for this wonderful, wonderful season of learning that we have been through with the Sacred Rebels. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure everybody else has. It was very inspiring. Looking forward to the next session. So thank you. All right. So Brett is our prayer chaplain today, and I will hand it over to him.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone, this morning. It's good to see everyone. Let me see here. So I'm available after service in the back. It's kind of a small room if you want to hang out, or I'll find you in the lunchroom if you want. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Also, we have a prayer box in the back. You can put written requests in there. The prayers will be prayed on here and then sent to Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies and prayed on for 30 days. All right, and I think the closing prayer we have up here on the screen. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Here. Fun. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God, our Creator. We are Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. May this step I take, let this be my joyous vow. Take each moment in peace eternal. Let be peace on earth and let it be with me.